And that kind of that makes me think too. Um, so there's an article, Brent, about the infrastructure bill. It has just been passed. It does
Let's go,
have some.
Brandon.
No, let's go, Brandon. But yeah, so that does have a part in there about
The
the
Democrats been saying
HBCUs.
thank you.
Uh
Right.
huh.
They've
Go
been
ahead.
saying thank you, Brandon. They've been
Thank
saying
you, man.
thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah. So the infrastructure bill has uh
Hmm.
has a part in here about the HBCUs and how much money they're supposed to be getting. I think that's why they're saying things are going to be taken care of because of the billions of dollars that these HBCUs are supposed to be getting. So I guess maybe hopefully they know something that the students don't know and things are going to get worked out. We'll see about that
Right.
and how that turns out. But what do you guys know about this new infrastructure bill that's been passed and just kind of what's going on with that, and then that, that whole world there.
Well, but hey, before we get started with that, um just a second, since we are talking about infrastructure, let me just play this for y'all real quick.
We're going to rebuild our infrastructure for 4 years. Donald Trump. $1 in infrastructure investment, world class infrastructure week, infrastructure for infrastructure. The so called builder, only he roads, bridges, and homes. You can fix it. Who got the job done? Finally, infrastructure. Joe Biden, action on top. Results, not tweets. Millions of new jobs, billions for the economy's Donald Trump. Serving America instead of serving himself. Joe Biden.
And as you can see, that was from the Lincoln Project, even though, they're not always good to be trustworthy, but, hey, that was a good video. And Democrats need to take a key on how to market it because now their job is marketing this infrastructure bill. So, Meldick, I think you got a list of what's in the bill.
I do.
Hmm. And I got it right there on the screen.
Right.
Can y'all see
It's
that?
yeah, and this is for the people who are listening instead of watching. So they are supposed to be spending 110 billion on roads and bridges, 65 billion on the electric grid upgrade, 66 billion on passenger and freight rail, 65 billion on broadband, which is the internet. We're going to skip this one and we're going to save that one for last, and then we'll go to
Yes.
the next one. Climate change protection, 50 billion. Airports and ports, 42 billion. Public transit, 39 billion, and 21 billion on environmental cleanup, 15 billion on electric vehicles, transportation safety, $11 billion, and reconnecting communities, only $1 billion on that. Uh, but there was one that I guess you wanted to talk about, Brent.
Yes. If y'all remember, it's 6 Democrats that voted against the bill, the infrastructure bill, because the Build Back Better bill was not included, which involved, I think, another 555 billion. I'm not sure, but it involves more money for more community service things for communities.
Mhm.
And let me pull up the squad, and y'all know who the squad is. So this is the squad. And Brett, can you just kind of read off who them fine folks are?
Oh, we got Representative Corey Bush. We also got Representative Jamal Bowman. Uh, AOC in the House,
Mm.
Representative Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, Representative Ilhan Omar, Representative Rashada Tlaib, and then Representative Ayanna Presley.
So that's the
AOC kind of fine.
What? What'd you say, Mildred? Who kind? What'd you say? Who kind of fun? Trying to hit on AOC? Who you hit on?
Okay. AOC on November the 7th, she said the cost to replace every lead pipe in the United States is going to cost between 4 to 60 billion. BIF, which is Biden infrastructure, only gives 15 billion. Without BBB, Build Back Better, many communities historically denied clean water will continue to be denied. Build Back Better has a lead number, dollar sign for disadvantaged community. We must keep pushing for the Build Back Better, which she is right. We should
Yeah.
definitely keep pushing for the Build Back Better because
Yeah.
it's going to give more money to communities for serving communities.
Mhm.
This $1.2 trillion infrastructure is going to fix the infrastructure. But like she said, we must continue to push for the Build Back Better because at first these bills were combined, they were together, but now
Mhm.
they've been separated. So
Yeah.
she said, look at what she said. She said it costs 45 to 60 billion, but Biden's infrastructure bill only 15 billion. That's
Mhm.
a lie. That is a lie. If you look back on what Meldrick read, that piece of paper, what Meldrick was reading was in the infrastructure bill. In the infrastructure bill, if you see improved water quality, $55 billion. So I'm like, baby girl, did you read the bill? You saying how did you get 15 out of 55 billion? I'm just trying to see where you got 15 billion from out of 55
Maybe
billion.
she sneezed when she reading. She got you. She saw the five and thought it was a one or
Maybe
something.
so, but even if it costs 60 billion, they're going to be off 5 billion. But it's right here in in white, black and
Mhm.
white. It's written here. $55 billion is going to be towards improving water
Water.
qualities.
Well, improved water
And
quality. Is there more to it than just the
yes,
pipes?
this is going to clear up all the rusty lead pipes that we like what Flint, Michigan is dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to clear up all the pipes, lead pipes in this country. So everywhere where there are lead pipes, this is going to take care of that. She
Mm-hmm.
was saying it's only 15 billion, but I'm just like, did she do like Mildred said? Did she sneeze and she saw 15? I don't know.
Uh,
And then the good brother down from New York. Now he said, what does it say right there? I support the infrastructure package.
mm-hmm.
In addition, we still need paid leave. See, that was the big part that Joe Manchin kicked out of the bill was the paid leave. It went from 12 weeks to 4 weeks, and then he said he didn't want it in there at all. So these are the things that the Build Back Better plan will pay for: paid leave, universal pre-K and affordable child care, lower prescription drug costs, immigration reform, and more. So that's what a lot was in the Build Back Better. But look where he said, I support the infrastructure bill. No, you didn't. You voted against it. And get this, him and Cory Bush right now on what they said no to, they are asking constituents to send them money so they can campaign because their seat's coming up next year. So they're
Right.
out there asking for money.
Right.
So
Yeah.
my thing with the squad is y'all make a lot of noise, but y'all have nothing on paper. You sit up here and you complain and gripe, and you still just mad because your man Bernie Sanders didn't win. He just didn't lose; he lost twice. And then you got folks like Nina Turner, and I'm gonna say this until I'm blue in the face. She is one of I'm not gonna say the main reason why Hillary Clinton lost Pennsylvania, but she did not help because she told their party, the progressives, to vote for the Green Party candidate. And I think the Green Party candidate got like 44 or 45,000 votes. Hillary Clinton lost Pennsylvania by almost 50,000 votes. So but she would have got some of that from the Green Party candidate, that probably would have helped her win Pennsylvania, which would have gave her the White House. But we don't know. But with these progressives, you got to be careful with that. I mean, I like what they do. It's like they're a lot of hot air.
I think I see what they're trying to do. I mean, what they're fighting for. Um, and I think they may have just been at the point where they just didn't care. Where they really wanted the
Right,
everything in that Build Back Better plan. And they probably didn't want to compromise on
right.
any of
Because
it.
like I
It
said,
seems
both
like.
those bills were they didn't want to compromise, and both those bills were together.
Mhm.
But isn't something better than nothing? I mean, the Democrats won big with this $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. They said an infrastructure bill hasn't been almost 50 years. And you
Mhm.
just saw the video we just played. Donald Trump for 4 years promised infrastructure, infrastructure. He had a $2 trillion infrastructure bill, but he couldn't. The meeting that he had with Pelosi and Schumer didn't go good.
Mhm.
So um, thank you, Brandon. President
Mhm.
Biden, with months of negotiating, he got it done. Now that he got this win, now I think him and a Democrat, they have something to run on. But you're on the clock, Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer. Y'all are on the clock to get these voting rights passed. And it seems like the only way they're going to be able to get that passed if they get rid of the filibuster. And Joe Manchin and Christian Sinema do not want to get rid of the filibuster. So that's
Mhm.
going to be a tight. So they got something to run on with this infrastructure bill. So
Yeah.
in the infrastructure bill, there's going to be over 700,000 jobs every year that non-college educated folks can get. So you know what, you Trump supporters, most of them are non-college educated. This bill is also for y'all, because y'all gonna be able to get good paying jobs without a college degree. And Democrat, that's why they need to get on the road and messages to it is poorest part of the country, the reddest state. And the town, you see that bridge over there? Thank Brandon for that. You see them dilapidated schools over there? I don't think well, it is money in there for the schools. The I, I mean, infrastructure is going. So that's why that's the kick that I had with President Obama when he passed that stimulus package, and then when he passed the health care reform bill. He just said people are no. Negro, no. You need to go out there and tell the people if it wasn't for what we did, you wouldn't have affordable health care. If it wasn't for what we did when we first got in office, this country was going to collapse. That's why you got the stimulus package.
Right.
So, Biden, I hope you learned from what your boss, President Obama, did not do, which was go on this road and tell these poor white folks and our people too that keep saying Democrats ain't did nothing.
Meaning
The
tell
only
them what
reason
you
why we
did.
have social services is from FDR. That's the only reason why we have Social Security, all these programs. Now, there's a lot it's a lot of stuff we can argue about, but let me ask you this: what were you going to get from a Republican? You got a tax credit for the rich that does not benefit us. So, Braxton, I think that leads straight into this next point you want to continue thanking Brandon for.
Well, the next point was just, I mean, what have Biden and Harris done, right? There are some people that say
Mm-hmm.
they haven't done enough or done anything. I mean, what's their record, man? What's going on? What have they done so far?
Okay. All right. So they have decreased child poverty by 50%. So some of these parents that are you got kids, you getting that $500 to $250 a month for each child. That's a help. 50% in poverty, child poverty down. HBCU, we were just talking about that. Now, hey, this ain't got nothing to do with them, well, especially what's going on in Howard. But since Biden has been in office, HBCUs have received $5.3 billion. 5.3 billion. Usually they get about a billion a year from the federal government. With this pandemic, with Biden in office, with Trump, they got about another billion out of Trump from the CARES Act, but from Biden, 5.3. Four black women have been appointed to federal judges. So you see this crazy judge that's the judge over here with this Kyle Rittenhouse case. Now you have more uh, liberal judges would like these 4 black women that are that could possibly have a case like that one day, instead of this fool who that's in here with this Kyle Rittenhouse case. And you see how crazy that judge is. He said free health care for unemployed people and lower insurance premiums. The infrastructure bill is finally passed. 60% decrease in unemployment. So, and about 5.6 million jobs have been added under Biden within 10 months. And then, even though the Georgia Ford Policing Act did not pass, and that is still something else that they need to work on. So, lying Tim Scott, he lied. That's another liar, because he said he was going to work to get this done, and he didn't. And the DOJ, but the DOJ has, Department of Justice has banned no knock warrants, has also banned chokeholds. So, and another thing about the judges Biden has placed, by the first year, Joe Biden has already put in 28 judges. That is the most out of all presidents since Carter. And Carter put in 26 judges. People keep saying there's no difference between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. If you look at what he's done in the first year, it's a big difference. The biggest bill Trump passed was that 1.9 trillion tax cut, which didn't benefit nobody but one percenters and the rich and one percenters. It didn't benefit us. But these are helping regular everyday people. Now, do we want more? Yes, we want more. But you got to look at history. When we talked about JFK, he wanted that civil rights bill passed. It got passed. But then Dr. King came back to LBJ, said, we need voting rights. He said, man, we just got the civil rights bill passed. We can't get no, he said, you gonna have to make me do it. So what did Dr. King go do? He marched, protested, got put in jail, kept doing it, kept coming back to the White House, but they got it done, but it didn't just come like that. And a whole process, it took a while for that to get passed. So what do we need to do as voters? Like Karen Bass from California said, she said, you can't be having just no barely majority like what they have now. You need a super majority. That was the only way President Obama got that Affordable Health Care Act, because he had 60 in the Senate, was able to get that passed. Biden, he can't hardly, he's done a lot from what he's done in his first year, but to get voting rights and that Georgia Ford Policing Act, he's going to need a super majority. And I know it's going to be hard to get black folks to come out and vote, because they're saying they don't do anything. But Democrats, they're not getting out here on the wins that they do have. So there are wins. You just got to go out there and research and do it. And I agree. Democrats are terrible at messaging. So you heard it here, what they've done so far.
All right.
I mean, but how does that make y'all feel? Did y'all feel like Biden Harris hadn't been doing anything, or?
I just think people just don't having people people are uninformed, and then
Yeah.
people are probably looking for something big, to go off of. So it may not have been nothing super big that was like a big change. So
Mhm.
that's probably why people are saying that they've not been doing anything, because they haven't seen anything big change. So.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and when you
the
think about
infrastructure
it,
bill.
when you hear about what's going on in the news too, you hear it's a lot of back and forth, a lot of fighting. You got
Right.
Joe Manchin and um, you
Christian
know,
cinema.
yeah, cinema, Christian cinema. It's a lot of back and forth, and them holding up a lot of bills. So that's what you hear. I did hear recently about the infrastructure bill passing, so I think that was a positive note. I think now that people know that Joe Biden has got this through, and it does look better, a lot better for him. To me, getting the troops out, I know it wasn't a clean
Right.
sweep, but he did it. These are things that Trump talked about doing but couldn't do. And
Exactly.
so
And I didn't even mention that about the war.
yeah, about that. And so I mean, they're doing stuff, and there's reports going on even about Kamala Harris and just kind of how she's dealing with everything, and I think there's reports about I guess she feels like she's not doing, maybe she could be doing more
But
in the
Braxton,
office.
what can the vice president do?
But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I was thinking about. I was like,
What power does she have?
what has any vice president done? You know, and so I don't know if she's unhappy with it. To me, the night they won,
Mhm.
I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know. I love that she got it, that she was our vice president, first woman, first black woman to be a VP. But I was like, man, I wonder how she's gonna feel just kind of being there, you know.
Right.
Because you can tell she's used to kind of, doing things and making things happen. So I don't know,
But
man. Like you said, the vice president doesn't really do a whole lot, so there's probably not a lot for her to do. And so
this is
who
my
knows?
thing with them saying that they're pushing, they continue to press this narrative. Like even Sean King came out and see, I
Mhm.
think them just some bootlickers. They are paid to say this kind of stuff to
Mhm.
stir the pot, saying, "Where's Kamala Harris? Where's she been?" First of
Mhm.
all, she been in her skin. How about that?
Yeah, but
But
yeah,
that's
where's she
but my
been? Yeah.
but my thing is she's the vice. She and if when Biden came out talking about the infrastructure bill, the last thing that he said, a lot of credit goes to this lady right here talking about the vice president,
Mhm.
saying with her negotiating skills and talking to other members of Congress and going out, and then she just came from Paris, so
Mhm.
she's getting our foreign relations back together and in key.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just say that. I'm just like, did y'all have the same heat for Mike Pence when he was in office? Did
No,
you
they
have the
didn't.
same? Did
They
they have the
didn't.
same heat for Joe Biden when he was the vice president? So
No.
I just think with her being the first woman, because it's just like it's Hillary all over again. They're
Yeah.
doing to Kamala Harris what they did to Hillary,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but and I hate that for her. But the first always has to go through this type of stuff. The first.
Yeah. It is. You're right. The first person will have to go through this type of scrutiny, and you know, it's the way it is. So I'm thankful that she's dealing with the way she is, so you don't really hear
Right.
her really addressing it at all. I think is the best way
And
to
can I
kind of
say
go
one more
about it.
thing?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go
It's
ahead.
fear. It's this white fear that they are scared of that. They see how intelligent this woman is. They know
Mhm.
behind closed doors, she probably don't. I ain't gonna call her. She don't play.
Yeah, she ain't scared. She
She's not
definitely ain't
scared.
scared.
And if people and I hated this when she was running for president. People said she was an unpopular candidate, even in her state of California. So when she ran for DA, she ran for Attorney General, she ran for the Senate. She had to be voted in to get each of those positions, and she won. So
Yeah.
how can you say she was unpopular in her state and she won every election that she was in, except for the one becoming president? But then she got the second best job, which is the vice president.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
think they are it's white fear. That's no other way to put it.
It's white fear.
So
It's that, and then some of these men too just
yeah,
get
they
they just
scared.
they just get dumb. Like women can do things too. What's what's wrong with having a woman vice president or president for that?
Right.
Most time, women will make the right decisions. When some men will not, and some men will just continue to lie and do the wrong thing.
Mm.
So, um, I think just yeah, like you said, it's white fear, but you also just some of these men
It's
are just
being
dumb.
fear.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because that's what, like you said, that's what happened with
Hillary.
when Hillary Clinton. I remember guys and even not just white guys, but like minority guys talking about
Right.
Hillary and saying things. How do you know that? You don't know Hillary's life. You don't know her personally. You're just talking based on how you feel about someone. You don't know them. And so it's just dumb. They don't assume those types of things about men, but as soon as a woman gets in position,
Right.
and she does something they don't like, oh, she's this, she's that. Um, but it's I don't know. I feel like women sometimes don't get the same respect
You're
um
right. You are
as
definitely
men
right.
do, or the same benefit of a doubt, When they're smart, they can do things too. So that's a good point, Brent. Very good point about Kamala Harris. And so I think you're right, Brent. Some of these people may be planted, they may be planting things or may be paid to say certain things or try to stir the pot. But
Mhm.
it seems like things have been going well so far. And like you said, I believe she's doing a lot behind the scenes. She's too smart to just be sitting there.
Right.
Kamala Harris
Right.
she's too smart, too brilliant for that. So she's helping out a lot, and she's probably the reason why a lot of these things are going the way
Right.
they are. So
And let's
big
not
ups.
forget the main person Donald Trump wanted to go against was Bernie Sanders because he knew he could beat Bernie Sanders. The
Yeah,
two people that he did not want to go against were the two people that are in the White House right now. He did
right.
not want to go against Joe Biden, and he was glad when Kamala Harris got out of the race. He even tried to have some little sly remark, but then
Yeah,
she came back and said, "Don't worry, Mr. President. I'll see you at your trial," when she was still in the Senate.
yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, she went back
hey,
and down. I love that about. That's what I liked about Kamala.
yeah.
She went back and down from nobody. So I did like that when she ran her
So,
race. I don't understand that people
right.
saying she wasn't
So,
popular. Yeah,